Hi and welcome back to my channel. My name is Nikki, and if it is your first time visiting, then welcome. If you are already a subscriber, welcome back. You guys are awesome. Today's look is very much so inspired by Edward Scissorhands. I love Edward Scissorhands, you know what I'm saying? And I thought that it would be funny to do it with Edward Scissorhands has highlights or Edward Scissorhands with a tan, but as you can see, it still isn't super tan. Everything on my face can be found in a drugstore, at Walmart, you know, just use foundation, some brown eyeshadows. I used a contour palette, some white liquid eyeliner, and that's it. Like, and a glue stick. You can just pay like, what, 50 cents for one of those? $1 maybe? But yeah. Pretty easy, pretty simple. All you need is a black t-shirt. You could make your own gloves. Back then I made mine out of duct tape. You can imagine how bad that looked. And some chains of some sort or belts. Totally up to you, but if you want to see how I did this, just keep on watching. Okay, so for starters, we are going to be covering our eyebrows for this one. Glue your brows down. Then I'm going to go back in with a spoolie and brush them up. And my brows tend to want to grow up anyways, so that's going to help them lay as flat on the face as possible. Looks kind of crazy. Crazy. Yeah. Yo. Cool. You're also going to just want ahead and go... What was that? You are also going to want to go ahead and just apply some powder. That's going to keep it from getting all in your makeup brushes, the glue, because right now it is very sticky, and once it dries, it still, in my experience, is a little bit sticky. So take a brush that you really don't care about and just apply a generous amount of powder over the top of your glued down eyebrow. A lot of his tones were ashy and gray, so for this look, just because I think it's funny, I'm going to give Edward Scissorhands a tan. So I'm going to take my normal foundation and just apply this all over your whole face. And you may have to go over your eyebrows a couple of times just to really cover them, because my eyebrows are... they're not super dark, but they're obviously dark enough that they're still coming through my foundation. Probably could have used another layer of glue on the eyebrows. Oh my gosh, like, I see the resemblance already, don't you? What do you mean you don't see it? It's there, I'm telling you. It is there. Just getting rid of the eyebrows. I'm Edward Scissorhands. That's all it took. We're going to set this all in place with airspun powder. Tap it into the lid, and we're going to be using again a very decent amount of this all over the face, especially over the brows. Oh, it's snowing in here. Yeah, that definitely did not cover my brows the way that it did the first time, so beware, watch out for my mistakes, add more glue, take your time, you know, just, you want it to look its best, but I'm just going to work with it. I'm going to deal with it. It is a good thing that powder is cheap, because y'all see, you guys see all this snow in here. Yeah. Don't breathe that in. Chew. Now I'm just going to take a brush, let that sit for a couple of seconds, and brush it all away. Now, in order to do this look, whether you're doing the traditional Edward Scissorhands or you're for serious planning on giving him a tan like I am, you're going to want to look up a picture of Mr. Depp. So, let's see. So, Mr. Edward Scissorhands, Johnny Depp, has got, again, He's got some pretty ashy tones, but there is some warmth to him. So I am going to mimic his look, but I'm just going to be using the warm tones. So I'm going to prop this phone up so I have something to look at. Oh, scratchy, scratchy. Don't want to touchy, touchy. What is going on? There's nothing there. There's not a hair, there is not a booger, there is nothing there, and it's itching me like nobody's business. Okay, anyways, so we're going to start with his eyes. I'm going to take this contour palette by Profusion, and I'm taking, I'm getting it all over myself first, and I'm going to start out fairly light. I'm going to take this, which is actually a little bit cool toned. Don't you understand? I'm busy. Ugh. Okay, so his eyes, it kind of starts right about here and goes all the way up past where your eyebrow, or past where, I guess, his eyebrow, and then starts coming down on an angle. So we're going to take it up pretty high and then just start angling it down. And it also kind of swoops down right here. It doesn't just come over and down, it like swoops. So we're going to make sure that ours swoops too. Swoop, swoop, swoop. I'm actually going to get a smaller brush. That might help out with the swooping. Maybe. I'm also going to take a little bit more of a peachy shade and just add to this so that, like I said, it warms it up just a little bit because we're giving him a tan today. He went out and seen the sunlight for the first time in like 20 years, however long he's been up there. I'm going to be taking that same brush, and he's got some shadows going on under his eyes. We're just accentuating his dark circles. Nope. Whoa! Whoa! I think I just had a heart attack. Oh my god. I think I just died a little bit inside. Okay, now let's hope our brush doesn't decide to become scary and scare us to death too. And his nose has a little dip right here that makes it all Johnny Depp-like. We're going to make our nose slimmer because Johnny Depp has a very slim nose. Or Edward Scissorhands does, rather. This is not Johnny Depp. This is Edward Scissorhands. Then I'm taking some of the light shade and running it right down the center to clean up and blend in our contour. You can also use your finger a little bit if you need to. And his lips also are pretty dark, so you could use a liquid lipstick for this. I'm just going to use some of this contour palette, and he has some scars, so we're going to drag that way. That can be one of his scars. And then to make it super Edward Scissorhandsy, we are going to sculpt out the cheeks. And they kind of come down almost like skeleton. I'm also going to contour my forehead just a little bit because I got a big old forehead. Just to, I don't know, bring some of the stuff he's got going on up there too. And then because we got like 3 chins going on here, I'm also going to get rid of those. So we're going to darken up these areas. Anywhere that you want it to be shadowed, just keep adding darkness. And he also looks like around his chin, excuse you. His chin is pretty contoured as well. Now we're going to go ahead and start adding in our scars, because this boy was abused. I mean, by himself, but nonetheless, he was abused, man. So, start out with the contour shade and draw the actual shadow. He's got some down here. Cut himself shaving, the poor guy. And then we'll just draw some random ones, because the picture that I'm looking at, I mean, you can see some of his scars, but at the same time you can't see all of them. And I'm just going to draw one right up here, just because. Now, to make these actually look like scars, I'm going to take a lighter shade and place it all around, but it's not. I'm thinking I'm going to have to use body paint for this. Pardon. What? Oh. It's behind you guys. If you fall over, I'll get you back up. Oi, oi, oi. Okay. So I'm going to take some white body paint on a little liner brush and use that to highlight the scars. And this is just going to help them pop off the face and look more three-dimensional. And I said this was going to be a scar too, so... Okay. Do we look just like him? No. Can you tell that it's inspired? Well, I should hope so. But that is pretty much, I think I'm actually going to go ahead and apply a little bit more of a contour onto my eyelids, but it's going to be very light. And I'm not using a very stiff brush for this, because like I said, I just want it to be light. It's not going to be super defined. It's just going to be very diffused, just like a shadow would be. And that is pretty much it. So now we are going to let down our lioness mane, or at least if you're me, it's a lioness mane, and find a comb. We're going to tease this stuff up, because his hair was cray-cray in this movie. This is probably horrible for your hair, but you have to do what you have to do. Actually, I think instead of calling it Edward Got a Tan, because we're still not that tan, I think we're going to call it Edward Got Highlights. And then let me get a better look at his little thing that he had on the front of his face. Let's see. So we're going to leave it about, let's see, get a couple of little twigs anyway. Why, yes, I am the saddest person in the world. Please be my friend, will you? I'm so sad and so lonely up here on this hill by myself. Please.